Do you have an adult child stuck at home, no job or hard time keeping one, spending most of their time in their room, staying up all night and always tired, no goals or no efforts toward their goals, overall unmotivated? Are you tired of doing everything for them, but you're so afraid that they'll fail if you stop? If this resonates, this video is for you. My goal in this video is to help you gain some perspective about what may be going on and look at how else you can approach this situation. I will share 3 common causes of why adult children may be stuck at home and have a hard time building independence for themselves. So let's get into it. My first question is, how are you really doing as a parent? If the situation has been going on for a while, it's likely that you're feeling pretty frustrated. You may be embarrassed and ashamed, feeling like you're failing at parenting your child, or you're worried about your child's future. You keep trying different things, but you feel stuck. So how much is this really affecting you? Then, of course, there's the advice you're getting from everyone. They tell you, you need to be tougher. You need to kick them out so that they can learn to be responsible. Or the opposite advice. You need to be more empathetic. You just love them. They'll find their way on their own time. So you go from feeling empathetic to angry with every other emotion in between, and it's exhausting. My second question is, how is your adult child feeling about all of this? Are they really intentionally refusing to grow up and to become independent? Most likely not. You're telling them to clean up their room, to get enough sleep, to eat healthier, to fill out college applications, to apply for jobs, to prepare for interviews and do more of this and less of that, but they're not doing it. And it's so frustrating. But it's likely that they're feeling stuck, just like you do. It's likely that they feel embarrassed with their peers about still living at home, or they may resent having to live by your rules and at the same time be terrified with the idea of living on their own. Your adult child is struggling just as much as you are, even if they look like they're the ones causing the problem. Once you can accept this, it becomes easier, not easy, but easier to focus on what's creating the problem. So what is the problem? Well, we know that change is hard for everyone. We usually need a pretty strong motivation to push past our comfort zone, but often we get stuck, even as adults. When young adults seem unmotivated to leave home, it's often because of one of 3 reasons. 1, not motivated because they don't know what they want. It's in this case, it's more of a self-awareness issue. 2, they're not motivated because they're getting enough of their basic needs met at home and anything else feels too overwhelming. This is more about the expectations and boundaries that you set and how you enforce them. Or 3, they're not motivated because they're feeling too overwhelmed by the task or don't have enough skills to do the task. And of course, the more competent we feel about something, the more likely we are to do that thing. And so in this case, it's more of a confidence and a skill building issue. So I invite you to reflect on each one of these reasons and whether they apply to your situation, and if so, how they apply. So hint, it's often a combination of these 3. Just telling your adult child over and over what they need to do is not going to address the root of the problem. If anything, it's going to poison the relationship and drive everyone crazy in the process. So if what you've been doing isn't working, it may be time to explore a different approach. Once you have more clarity about each one of these possible causes, I encourage you to dig deeper into them. If it's a self-awareness issue, how can you support your adult child to become more clear about their goals, their interests, values, beliefs, wants and needs, and how to express them? If they're a little too comfortable in your home, maybe it's time to revisit how much you're doing for them and how much you expect them to do. Are you paying all of their bills? Do they have access to a car? Do you cook all of their meals? Do you do their laundry? It's okay to revisit the arrangement you have anytime. It's not about making drastic changes overnight, but maybe setting a new expectation for one thing and finding healthy ways to enforce it. The goal is never to punish, but to create opportunities to learn and to grow. So you do all of those things for your adult child out of love, but sometimes the best way to show love is not to do so much so that they can find their own way of caring for themselves. If it's a matter of confidence and skills, it's so important to dig deeper into the possible contributing factors. So let's look at some of those possible factors. Do they lack executive functioning skills? Maybe they haven't learned to plan, organize, prioritize, make good decisions, or self-regulate. These are all examples of skills that we all need to develop in order to be independent. Neurodivergent kids and teens often have a harder time developing some of those executive functioning skills. But with extra support, they absolutely can. Do they have a hard time navigating social situations? They may need extra support to build up the social emotional skills. Are they not diagnosed accurately? A lack of an accurate diagnosis could lead to having unrealistic expectations about what your adult child can do. It doesn't mean they can never do it, but they may need additional support to get there. Do they have sensory processing challenges that can make daily situations overwhelming and lead to procrastination and avoidance? In summary, if your adult child is stuck at home and you worry about their ability to become independent, I invite you to shift your mindset from, at this age, they should be able to do X, Y, Z, to how can I support them differently to succeed? Identify as many of the contributing factors as possible. Look at the specific skills they may need to learn on their own, with your support or with the support of professionals. Additional evaluations may be needed to receive an accurate diagnosis. Identify ways to motivate your adult child. Without motivation, they will stay stuck. Some limits may need to be set. It may trigger some pushbacks. It's okay. You can set limits with kindness and empathy. Gradually raise the expectations so that your adult child can experience success while learning to be more independent. Whatever you want to change, identify small steps that are manageable for you and your adult child. Remember that this is just as hard for your adult child as it is for you. I hope this information will be helpful to you and your family. I'd love to hear your thoughts or any questions that you may have. Be well.